1D. Good role models. A role model is someone who is loved and admired by people for his behavior and his achievements. 1. Reading. A. Discuss. What's a role model? Like we said, someone who is loved and admired by people for being good behavior and achievements, things that he accomplished in life. Which of the famous people, well-known people, you know are good role models and why? I know Abdulaziz bin Baz, and there is also Majid Abdullah. Okay, what are they known for? Why are they good role models? Abdulaziz bin Baz was a famous Muslim scholar. He was blind, he couldn't see, but that didn't stop him from writing many books. He got blind at a very young age, when he was young, not when he was old. And Majid Abdullah is considered as the best footballer in the history of Saudi Arabia. B. Read the texts and find out why the two people are good role models. Now read and listen.
Abdullah Abkar Muhammad. The rising star of the athletic scene is Abdullah Abkar Muhammad. The sport has become much more popular, especially with people in Saudi Arabia and other Middle Eastern countries, thanks to the young sprinter from Medina. Abdullah Abkar Muhammad began taking part in races at school. One thing was clear: he was very talented, and he soon started running in international championships. It is rare for Abdullah Abkar to have much time on his hands, because he spends many hours training every day. To stay strong and fit with very little body fat, he has to train very hard, leaving him only a few hours a day to do other things. In March 2016, when he was 19 years old, he set a personal record at the IAAF World Indoor Championship, and only a month later, he set a national record and Asian junior record, making him the fastest sprinter under the age of 20. The future for Abdullah is bright, and he is doing all he can to make the people of his country proud.
Now read with me. The rising star. If someone is a rising star, he is becoming more famous every day. Of the athletics scene. Athletics scene, sports like running and jumping. In America, they call it track and field. Track and field. In Britain, athletics is Abdullah Abkar Muhammad. The sport is getting much more popular, loved and known by many people, especially with people in Saudi Arabia and other Middle Eastern countries. These are the countries of the Middle East. Thanks to the young sprinter. Sprinter is someone who takes part in races, someone who runs in races. We call him sprinter. From Medina, that's his city. He is from Medina. Abdullah Abkar Muhammad began. Began is the past of begin. When you begin, you start. Taking part in races, participating in races. When you race, you see who's the fastest. At school, one thing was clear, was obvious. He was very talented. He was naturally good. And soon started running in international championships. Championship, sport competition. International, involving countries from all around the world. It is rare, it is not usual for Abdullah Abkar to have much time on his hand. He doesn't have a lot of free time because he spends many hours training every day to stay strong and fit, in good physical condition, in good shape. with very little body fat. That's body fat. If you are a sprinter, your body needs to be lean, not a lot of body fat. He has to train very hard, spend a lot of time practicing with extra effort, leaving him only a few hours a day to do other things. In March 2016, when he was only 19 years old, he set a personal record. When you set a record, that's the highest, the best ever. It was personal, that was his fastest time at the IAAF World Indoor Championship. And only a month later, 1 month after that, he set a national record. National means related to his nation. What is his nation? He is Saudi. So we can say that he set a Saudi record. That would also be correct. And Asian junior record. Junior means for young people. He was only 19, making him the fastest sprinter under the age of 20. He was under 20, he was 19, less than 20. The future for Abdullah is bright. That means we think, we expect good things to happen for him. He wins probably more races in the future. And he's doing all he can to make the people of his country proud, happy with his achievements. Ed Stafford.
Ed Stafford. Ed Stafford is a well-known English explorer and a former army captain. In August 2010, he became the first man in history to walk the entire length of the Amazon River. Ed Stafford has led many expeditions all over the world, and he always wanted to try things that seemed impossible to others. During his expeditions, Ed came across many difficulties, since he spent a lot of time in the wild. He also became aware of the environmental problems our planet faces. He realized that he was in a position to use his experience to educate people. In fact, in 2009, he started writing a blog about the Prince's Rainforests project, aiming at children and schools, and he intends to do much more.
Who is Ed Stafford? Ed Stafford is a famous English explorer, someone who travels to find out about things. And a former, he used to be, in the past, army captain. Army, group of people controlled by the government to defend the country, to fight for the country. In August 2010, he became the first man in history to walk the entire length, all the length. Length is noun, long is adjective, you know, long, of the Amazon River. This picture is for the Amazon River, the biggest river in the world. Ed Stafford has led. Led is the past of lead, when you make people follow you. He led many expeditions, many journeys for explorations all over the world, all around, everywhere around the world. And he always wanted to try things that seemed impossible, that people thought were impossible. During his expeditions, his journeys, Ed came across, he encountered many difficulties. Since he spent a lot of time, because he spent a lot of time in the wild, in places where people don't live, he also became aware of, he realized the environmental problems. Environment is everything that is around us, like the air, the water. Environmental problems our planet faces. This is our planet. planet Earth. Faces, encounters. He realized, realize means become aware of. Do you see this? Become aware of? The same meaning as realized. That he was in a position that he was able to use his experience, everything that he learned, to educate people, to teach people. In fact, in 2009, he started writing a blog, a personal web page on which you write your opinion about the Prince's Rainforests project, aiming at children, targeting children and schools, and he intends, when you intend to do something, you are willing to do it. You have plans to do it. He intends to do much more. So why do you think Ed Stafford is a good role model? For many reasons. One, his achievements. He was the first to ever walk the entire length of the Amazon River. Two, he became aware of the environmental problems our planet faces, and he started teaching people how to solve these problems. C. Read again and complete with the names Abdelaziz or Ed. Who has made people of his country love what he does? That's Abdullah Abkar. The sport is getting more popular with people in Saudi Arabia. Who showed his talent when he was at school? Also Abdullah. He was at school when he first started winning races. Who tries to make people aware of environmental issues, environmental problems? That's Ed. Who achieved something important at a young age? That's Abdullah. He was only 19 when he set many records. Who needs to have low body fat? That's Abdullah. He needs to be lean. Who used to be in the army? That's Ed. Look at the highlighted words and phrases in the texts and choose the correct meaning, A or B. Rising star. This is the word. Rising star means what? It means a person who becomes more and more loved and famous, known. Well known means famous. A lot of people know him. 3. Became aware of. That means he realized. Was in a position to. He could. He was able to use his experience. He could. He was able to. E. Do you know of any other famous people who are good role models for young people? Look, not everybody famous is a good role model. Why? There are many singers, actors in the world today. Are they good role models? No. You are only a good role model if you have a good influence, if you affect people in a good way, not in a bad way. So, like we mentioned earlier, there is Sheikh Abdulaziz bin Baz, and if you are into sports, there is Majid Abdullah. Can you think of more people who are good role models? Let us know about them in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please share it with friends. I will leave you now with one workbook exercise. I'll see you again next time, inshallah. Goodbye.
1D. Listen to 3 people talking about their role models and circle the correct answer.
Daniel.
At school I was really into history. There was one reason for this, and his name was Mr. Collins. Before Mr. Collins came to our school, I couldn't stand history. But when he came, that all changed. He made everything sound really interesting, and he changed my life. You see, I'm a teacher now too. Of course, maths is my subject and not history, but the subject isn't really important. You just need to try and get the students interested. That's the important thing.
Alan.
I met my role model last year. I was walking down the street when I saw lots of people outside a bookshop. So, I went to see what was happening. And there he was, signing books for people. I couldn't believe it. So, I bought his book and waited in line to meet him. When it was my turn, I was really nervous. But he was very nice, and he talked to me for a while. It was really exciting.
Robin.
I used to play a lot of football when I was at school, and my favourite player was Ulises de la Cruz. He scored some amazing goals, and I wanted to be just like him. When he became famous, I still liked him because he did a lot for his local community in Ecuador. He even gives about 10% of his salary for the poor. But now I'm bored of football and I'm into tennis. So I have a new role model, Rafael Nadal. Now he's amazing.